In the quiet Russian city of Nizhny Novgorod, a man named Anatoly Moskvin lived a life of quiet scholarship. By day, he was a respected historian, fluent in 13 languages, a man who seemed to blend into the background. But when darkness fell, Anatoly walked a different path, one that led him through the silent gates of cemeteries. He carried with him a strange and chilling belief. He thought he could bring the dead back to life. His obsession started innocently enough. He collected dolls, read them stories, and sang them hymns. But these weren't just any dolls. Hidden away in his small apartment, behind curtains that blocked out the daylight, Anatoly kept a secret that was darker than anyone could ever imagine. He believed that the spirits of young girls, taken too soon, were lost and lonely. So, he decided to give them new homes. One by one, under the cover of night, he carefully exhumed the bodies of children from their graves. To him, they weren't gone. They were just sleeping. He brought them back to his apartment and treated them with a disturbing tenderness. He meticulously preserved their small forms with a mixture of salt and baking soda. He dressed them in colorful clothes, stockings, and little boots, as if preparing them for a party they would never attend. He would even place music boxes inside their chests so they could still hear a sweet melody. Their faces were carefully painted, their lips sewn into permanent, unsettling smiles. Every evening, Anatoly would sit among his collection, his daughters, as he called them. He'd host tea parties, celebrate their birthdays, and read them fairy tales. He would whisper promises to them, telling them about the life they were meant to have. In his mind, this wasn't a crime. It was an act of profound, if twisted, devotion. When the police finally discovered his horrifying secret and broke down his door, his explanation was chillingly simple. He told them, "I just didn't want them to be cold underground." Inside that cramped, dimly lit apartment, the police found 29 life-size dolls, each one a mummified child. They sat on shelves propped up in corners, their painted eyes staring blankly into the room. The air was thick with the smell of decay, old fabric, and a kind of cloying perfume. The scene was a nightmare brought to life, a quiet testament to one man's descent into madness. Each doll held a story, a life cut short, now trapped in this bizarre, silent theater. Today, Anatoly Moskvin is confined to a psychiatric hospital, but the story doesn't end there. Even from behind locked doors, his whispers are said to continue. At night, staff members have reported hearing faint, disembodied voices echoing through the empty halls. A man's voice calling for his little dolls to wake up. Some even claim to hear the faint, tinkling sound of music boxes, though no source can ever be found. And in the darkest hours, when the wind howls outside and shadows dance on the walls, it's easy to imagine those dolls, wherever they may be now, stirring. Their painted heads turning slowly, their sewn smiles seeming to widen in the gloom, forever listening for the voice of the man who loved them in his own terrifying way. Because in Anatoly Moskvin's world, death was never the end. It was just the beginning of a very, very twisted kind of love. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as unsettling as I did, please like this video and subscribe for more dives into the darkest corners of human history. Stay safe and see you next time.